Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is a tarot oracle reading. This is for the last 10 days of July, and you, Capricorn, are the star of this astrological insight. If your sun sign is not Capricorn, we all have a little bit of Capricorn in us somewhere. If you do have your birth chart, which house is Capricorn in? That could give you further clarity as to where this information is most prominent for you. This is also a timely reading. If you're watching it at this time, it's the perfect time for you. Having said that, if it has been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life back then? All right. We have, for the underlying energy for the reading, we have the Nine of Wands. Now, wands in tarot do represent the element of fire, and they're made of wood because wood fuels fire. This is also from a tree, so it represents the deep roots of ancestors as well as the descendants, and it represents taking passionate action. So the wounded warrior is the Nine of Wands here, and it's talking about taking action in your life to stay on your destined path, to be the best version of yourself you can be, and to, stay on God's plan, basically, to do the best, to be the best that you can be. Now, this is talking about someone that's been through it, though. You can see he's exhausted, but look, he's managed to land 8 of these wands, and there's only 10 in the tarot. Now, we can see as we go here, there's more information about that. So the underlying energy is talking about staying on your destined path and moving forward, as best you can to take action, to be able to stay on the path and do, be the best version of you. And we do have the Five of Cups for the internal forces. So this is saying that, there has been some disappointment in love for you. Now, we have 5 cups here. Cups in tarot represent love. This can be romantic, but it could be any kind of love for anyone or anything. As well, it could be something you love to do or something you love to be. We have 3 cups spilt here. If you've ever heard the saying, don't cry over spilt milk, this is pretty much summing that up. Once the milk is in the ground, there's no recovering it. So you have to accept this as a loss. This card is about regret and remorse. There is, in this case, 2 cups with wine in it, and then a cup with another liquid in that cup. Now, this quite often in romantic love can represent an energy of a third-party energy dividing, a couple up. Not necessarily them dividing them, but because it happened, it divides the couple. So then this is talking about 2 cups here that are left standing. And, when this happens, you have to accept it as a loss. Because, the wine's in the ground, this other liquid, whatever it is, it's soaking into the ground. There's not really any way of recovering it. You can't go back in time to not do this. It's already done. So then maybe the words have been said, whatever is going on here. So instead of standing here, the best thing that you can do is turn around, pick up these 2 cups, and walk down the path, cross the bridge over troubled water here, and get to your castle to recover. Now, even the castle is half standing and half dilapidated, which means that you will have to have a good attitude to recover from this. Now, this could be your energy, and it was your partner who stepped out. You could have been the one that stepped out. This could be the third-party energy. This could be all 3 of you in regret and remorse. So, and if it's not about romantic love, it can just be about being hurt by someone in your inner circle, like your family, friends, a business partner, whatever that is, and having the same, sad feeling. And then we have Knight of Wands, and the Knight of Wands is a rebel with a cause. He would work for the king and the queen. His main occupation would be to deliver messages long distance. That was the only way that they had at that time. And he would be working for the king and queen of wands, and sometimes he might have been a page in the beginning and then worked up to being a knight. And you can see here that he has a big red plume on the back of his helmet. This represents that he could be quite impulsive and maybe a little hot-headed. But the horse he's reining the horse in. The horse represents your heartfelt passion. And it's talking about him being able to learning to rein his emotions in, discipline his mind, so that he doesn't end up in this energy here. So it's talking about, through practice, we learn that, sometimes we can't take back what we say impulsively or do impulsively, and we just have to live with it. This is the energy here of him being very adventurous, and this energy is talking about someone who loves to travel and learn about the wonders of the world. We have the pyramids here in the background, representing that desire to travel and see the wonders of the world and learn about what's going on. This is very optimistic energy. And, once this is talking about having a lot of passion for life, and this is how you feel about yourself. So having had to learn to rein your impulsive energy in, and I feel that could have something to do with this. And then we have the Eight of Wands. So the Eight of Wands is talking about something has already been launched. It's happening. It's in place. This can be your actions, or it can be other people's actions, or both. And it represents these 8 wands that you manage to land. Basically, this is saying that you planted seeds with the actions that you took, and you managed to plant these 8 wands despite having a lot of difficulty doing it. So congratulations on that. And saying that whatever action you took is now, it's taken root, and it's soon going to be time to harvest. He's leaning hard on the 9th wand here, close to his heart. So, there's only 10 in the tarot. And we do have 10 here, so we'll see what this is about. Here we have, this is about your abundance coming in. So, this harvest is almost ready to be, or the actions that you've taken have created, the fruits of your labor basically are ready to be harvested. And then we have the Strength here. And this is having, this young woman is reaching into this mature male lion's mouth. And this would be a very dangerous thing to do, of course, but she's determined to reach her infinite potential. And she knows that she has to face some fears that she has about herself and her shadow side, the parts of her that she doesn't like. So she's determined to do so that she can reach her infinite potential. And so this is about having the courage and the strength to go deep within yourself, to look at your shadow side and some of the things about yourself that you would prefer were different, and heal from that energy. And generally this can be from our childhood, a lot of this energy. And it's talking about, facing your shadow side can be really challenging, but well worth it. And it's saying that this is in your early childhood. So there could have been something that happened in your early childhood, or you could have just had a childhood that wasn't really happy, or it wasn't what it wasn't perfect. None of us usually have a perfect childhood. We might have a beautiful childhood in a perfectly imperfect world. But hardship actually gives us character and teaches us valuable lessons. So as long as you learn from your mistakes and, go back and work on the energy, then it can be a real benefit to you. And then we have the energy of the 10 of Wands. And as I said, this is saying, okay, the harvest is in. This person is this is you bringing your harvest home to your castle. The thing is that it's a very, very heavy load here. So this is an energy of, hopefully it's heavy because of the fruits of your labor, and you've planted so many seeds that it's a beautiful harvest that, is heavy. And that's why. But usually there's being that we're human, there could be some in it. I think it has to do with this energy in part. And something like with this, I feel like you've landed the 8, but maybe 2 of them are burdens that you're carrying from others, or it can be burdens that you're carrying that you haven't forgiven yourself for doing something, and you need to work through it so that you can move forward and just enjoy your harvest. This is someone, it's saying that, if you've ever heard the saying, can't see the forest for the trees, that's this energy. It's when you're so enwrapped in the details of what happens that you can't see the big picture anymore. So if you are carrying any burdens for someone else and it doesn't belong to you, then you need to lay that down. Say if your partner cheated on you and it ended your marriage or whatever, and you've been carrying that burden and you've decided never to love again and all of that type of thing, and still feeling like, not able to move forward in your life, then this is the best thing you can do, is, do some inner work and allow that to move. Same thing if you were the one that did the cheating. You have to at some point forgive yourself so that you can open your heart back up and move forward. And so that can talk about that journey of going deep inside to, this is your present state of mind and your actions now. So there's nothing you can do about, what has happened here. But what you can do is have a good attitude. Is the glass half full or is the glass half empty? You can see in the background here that the castle is half dilapidated and half standing. We have the energy here of this being happening on the spiritual realm. I feel like you've done a lot of inner work here and you've taken action to do that. Learn to rein your impulsiveness and, your volatile emotions, learning to calm them and be more mature about that. And I feel it's really benefiting you. You're on your destined path when you're on the chariot, and it's like a tank. It's just like tung, tung, tung. There's no reins, no need for it. You're on God's plan. And so you're on course. And there comes a certain point where, forgiveness is for yourself. And sometimes we have to forgive ourselves as well as others, to be able to move forward. And you can see here, the chariot is leaving the city. So sometimes that can represent you having to leave your comfort zone to be able to go deep within yourself and really take a good hard look at yourself and see, okay, what do I need to do to forgive this situation and move forward? And then we have the energy of the galactic star. So this is the North Star energy. And this is talking about the North Star is when you're on your destined path and you're moving forward. The star card is saying you are a star, if you didn't know. And if you did know, I'm confirming it for you here. And these are the Pleiades in the background and then the North Star. So the North Star represents your North Node energy. It's talking about being on your destined path and moving forward in the way that you want to move forward. Your unique qualities that you bring down to the planet here are represented here. She has her right foot in the water and she's pouring her energy into the water and then taking that and pouring it out onto Earth. And this is talking about the 5 streams here are talking about the 5 points on the Pentacle star. Pentacles are about your health, wealth, and happiness in the 3D. We don't have any pentacles here as of yet. So this is talking about, I feel this is just really talking about recognizing that, staying in this energy is just cheating everybody of who you really are. And it's time to forgive yourself if you are in this position, or forgive the other people. Now, forgiveness does not mean that you forgive people's actions or you're saying, oh, that's okay, I don't care if you broke my heart kind of energy. It's more like you don't even have to tell someone that you forgive them. It definitely doesn't mean you have to hang around with them again. You don't even need to tell them you forgive them. You just, you're doing it so that you can heal your heart and move forward and be in the strongest energy that you could be in. And then we have this energy of the external forces. So the internal forces, you'll know it's an internal force because the questions you're asking will be, well, what if this happens? What if that happens? What if they do that and I have to do this? So it's the woulda, shoulda, couldas of life, and you can really get caught up in those. The external forces you don't have as much control over, for sure. You can't control if someone loves you or not, or what they do, what they say. You can't control their actions or the economy in the world and, that whole thing. But you can control whether you respond to it or do you react to it. It's always better to respond. When you respond to energy, you're controlled, and you're usually going to get a much better result. We're going to see what the external forces are here. We have, so I feel that this energy has been holding you back. It's almost like a mental prison. There's really nothing stopping this person from moving forward except her thoughts. The swords in tarot represent the element of air, and the swords are mental intelligence, discipline of your mind, and these are the thoughts. Now, I feel like at one point there was way more water here, but this energy is saying you've gone through... there's 8 swords in total, and you've managed to put 7 thoughts behind you and realize, okay, that's not the way I'm going to go, but you've worked through it. And then you can see that you're duty bound here. This binding quite often represents being duty bound. Quite often it means that you're having to make strong, big decisions about people that you care about, people that you love. And it's difficult to do so, and maybe blindfolded, not wanting to really see the whole picture, but forcing yourself to, so that you can heal from it, or not being able to see a way out of it that's satisfactory. You notice in the background here there's the castle is behind her, and that can talk about having to leave the comfort zone again here to be able to move forward, and it sometimes can mean leaving people that you love behind, choosing yourself over other people that you care about, and moving forward. There's one sword here that's forward, and that's the one that I feel that she is going to wield that sword and cut herself free and move forward. At one time, there was way more emotion attached to this, so after letting go of the emotion and working through it, she's now able to move forward. Her right foot is on dry land. Her left foot is still stuck in a puddle back here, but it's very shallow. So the emotions have really dissipated, and I feel like any minute now she's going to walk forward and say, okay, this is the action that I'm going to take. And it still might be a difficult choice, but she has worked through it here. And I feel it's due to having done this work. And maybe this means, because we have 8 wands landed and we have 10 here, maybe that means having to put down 2 wands that maybe represent people you really care about, but you've decided, or something you really care about, that you just have to let it go. And we're going to see here, whoa, well, what does this bring in then? A cup of love. And this is in your partnerships, commitments, and marriage. So this is allowing you to open your heart back up to allow new love to come in. This is the knight in shining armor that, brings the saves the damsel in distress and ready to, entertain a new love in your life. So that's awesome. It means that you have managed to do the work to heal your heart. And the Knight of Cups is generally the knight in shining armor that comes in and rescues the damsel in distress, the one we read about in romantic novels and in the movies, etc. And it's talking about a lot of passion for you as well, and you for them. So here we go. Maybe that was the decision is, are you going to allow love back in your life again? And then we have the Two of Wands. So the Two of Wands is talking about an energy. This person is standing at the turret of their castle, and they're overlooking their domain, and they have this is talking about the external energy coming towards you. I feel this is someone that has the world in their hands, but they realize that they want to expand and become something bigger. And I just feel like this one wand planted is saying that they're very successful where they're at, but they want to expand their horizons. Maybe, quite often this can be about franchising a business or going overseas with it, going global, going international with your business. You might come from a smaller location, needing to move from that location to a bigger location so that you can reach the goals that you want. This also can talk about being passionate for someone and saying, okay, I have this success now. I'm ready to bring someone that I really care about into it, which would make sense with this love here. And then we have the magician. So the magician is talking about an energetic upgrade for sure. And this is from your higher learning, from having done the inner work. And we can see, this is about reaching 100% infinite potential to the power of infinity and beyond. And he's got his wand, his thoughts coming down from above, bringing that out onto the earth, down so below, creating a beautiful garden for himself. And this is saying the tools are all there. You just need to learn how to use them and which tool to use for what. And also, you notice he's wearing an Ouroboros around his waist. That's talking about, it's a snake biting its tail. And it's saying don't get caught up in, loops of energy that, it's time to shed your skin sometimes. You have to release the old energy so that you can move into the new. And that's in your higher learning. So it's really paid off to do this work here is what it's saying. And then we have, so we have this energy here, and I feel like this is talking about in the past the energy that was there. Now, this might not be resolved as of yet, but now because you've moved into this energy and you're taking action, you're finally able to deal with what happened. So this is interesting that this card comes in because this is the shift disturber, someone that's stirring the pot. Now, he's a walking contradiction. He has 2 swords planted here, and then he's sneaking off with these 5 swords. The swords being thoughts can represent intellectual material, patents, that sort of energy. This also can be talking about the energy of someone like who's pushing paper. So it's hard to understand what he's doing here. He's got these 2 swords planted. He's walking off with these 5. He's sneaking around, but he's got bright red shoes and boots on and a big red cap on. You can see him from a mile away. It's daylight. So if he's a thief, he's not a thief in the night. He's a thief in broad daylight, which could be someone sitting at their desk doing white collar crime like forgery or ID theft, counterfeiting, money laundering, that type of thing. And so the thing about this energy is you can see he has to look over his shoulder, and he's not really hiding what he's doing. So he's probably, everybody's like, oh, Joe's a great employee. He comes in early, leaves late, and, he's so dedicated. He goes for his lunch. He always comes back invigorated and ready to go again. And it's like, oh, wow, in the meantime, he's sitting at his desk and he's in early and late because he's doing his job and he's also doing his other job. And so this is talking about the swords that he's carrying away are, the paperwork, basically. And but what's really hard to understand about this person is he has these 5 swords. Look how he's carrying them. If you've ever seen anyone carry swords like this, comment below. I mean, this is so dangerous. Like if he trips, and he's not looking where he's going, he's looking over his shoulder at the past and he's moving forward, not looking where he's going. If he trips, like he could really, really hurt himself here. So it's kind of like if he's this dangerous with his own energy, how safe do you think he's going to be with someone else's? And this could be talking about this energy here. Just the thing is that this can also represent the 7-year itch, this card, where they've done studies, about when people, the divorce rate is so high. And surprisingly, the most likely time to get divorced is in the first year of marriage. I mean, the first year is pretty rough, but still you'd think you'd give it, it wouldn't be that many people give up that quick. But the energy is talking about the next most common time would be between the 7th and 8th year. And quite often that's when people step out, the 7-year itch, they have an affair or whatever, and it ends the marriage. This also comes up in businesses. Quite often businesses will be going along and they're finally starting to make money and do well. But your business partner comes in one day and says, you know what, I don't feel like doing this anymore, and just kind of leaves you with it, And it could also represent when you purchase a house. A lot of people sell after they've had it for 7 or 8 years, and it could be like they like living there and everything, but they just one day wake up and say it's time to sell. It's that type of energy. So this is talking about career, reputation, public image, that type of thing. So, definitely, and he could, Joe could be coming back and be really, really happy because he just got, laid. He's out and about, and so we don't know exactly, but there could be parts of that true for your energy of someone I feel like it's going back to the past when this happened here. And then we go into using your intuition. And so using your intuition will bring blessings, and that's what's talking about. So if you're stuck in this energy, like you're in this position, it's talking about how does the high priestess get out of that energy? Well, she's sitting in between two extremes, and all this information is pouring in. That's all this busyness behind her. And, these days we have information in a second. So we are inundated with information, and it can cause a lot of anxiety and overwhelm because too much information. And especially now with AI, I mean, what's real and what's not, it's hard to tell. And AI is getting better and better. And so the high priestess, what she does is she recognizes the cycles of the moon. For instance, the new moon and the full moon are when you're at your most intuitive. And she knows the difference between her mind and her brain. Like your mind is actually, how you think, and your will, like how you move forward in life, like the rebel with a cause here. Are you going to rein it in, or how are you going to deal with this? And your brain is your central nervous system. So your brain is, your central nervous system is made up of the brain and the spine, and those components allow you to feel sensations throughout your entire body. Like if you stub your toe, it feels like the toe hurts, but it's really the pain is coming from your central nervous system and directed towards your toe. So it's understanding these sensations that run through your body psychosomatically. If we're strong or weak to energy or what we have in front of us, our body will let us know in some way or another. And if we start paying attention to those sensations, we can start to notice that. Like for instance, a lot of people, when they feel like weak to something energetically, like they describe it as that feeling of an elevator dropping, where your gut just drops, and that's why a lot of times people will say, oh, I can feel it in my gut. But the sensations are coming from your spine. So that, from your central nervous system. So this is talking about, paying attention to those sensations. So if she asks a logical question, what should I do about this? She might get 5 answers, and all of them are logical. They all could work. But now she's like, well, which one is best for me? That's when you have to stop thinking and train your mind to be quiet through meditation and prayer. And feel what's your body saying, and you'll notice, like when you read them or you speak them out loud, that, one will stand out as being, you just want to stand up straight and you feel like that's the one. And the one that's the weakest, or any of the other ones, you'll feel that kind of that dropping feeling, like, feeling. So just start paying attention to that, and you'll notice that if you use both your logic and your intuition together, that the choices you make will be much more beneficial for you, and it really satisfies both your intellect, your logic, as well as your intuition. And then we have because you don't want to be in this closed-minded energy. That's when you get stuck like this, and you can get stuck for a long time in this energy. So it's talking about, You know, your feet turned out here in body language is representing leaking from the base chakra. And that's about your survival, fear, you know, and so doing a lot of inner work there can really be beneficial. You can see this energy, like it's energetically weak. If you were to picture her feet here as the front end of a car, you know, the wheels, if they're straight forward, the car just goes. But how far is a car going to get when it's like this, right? So it's like being kind of wanting to go in two directions at once. And then her upper body, you can see there's the arms crossed over the heart here is protecting the heart. And the right arm is holding the left arm back. Your right arm would represent your logic, holding back your intuition. The swords here are double-edged swords, and so they're talking about logic and intuition. And the blindfold can be saying you don't want to see it, but it also can be saying that, you know, there's a saying, because you have eyes, you cannot see. And you're like, that's stupid. What does that mean? And it just means that really, well, it means that you need to use your third eye. And because as a human being, when you look at something, we can only see a very small band of energy in the bandwidth of light. And so when we're looking around, we think we're seeing things, that we're seeing the whole picture, but there's a lot we're not seeing. And that's true. Like if there's ever a robbery or anything, and the police are getting witnesses, you know, they'll all see, they have a different point of view. And you'll notice that too, like if you have a cat or a dog or you see other animals, they'll notice things that you don't see. So that's what this is talking about. It's saying having an open mind is going to benefit you much more than if your mind is closed. So this is a really good reading. It's talking about the journey of healing, so that you can still be on your destined path. The Capricorn energy is very much about, you know, embracing your ambition and doing it in a responsible way. Using both your intuition and your logic to be able to climb that mountain. The Capricorn energy, the glyph is a mountain goat with a dolphin tail. And so you can imagine climbing a mountain with a dolphin tail, but the Capricorn energy does it. If a Capricorn says that they're going to do it, they are very much that way, and they're very disciplined, taking consistent steps of action. They are the most they're most likely to be wanting designer things and having a more luxurious lifestyle, because they're the most ambitious sign for earthly matters in the deck. But it's also talking about being able to climb mountains of, within as well. I really like this reading. It's a good reading for you, Capricorn. I will clarify for those who want further clarification. I'm using my Oracle, Tales from the Vector, and this is courtesy of the Intergalactic Federation of Light. And the numbers on these cards represent the paintings in the order they are in the gallery, and it's talking about my website, talesfromthevector.com. I will put them in the order that they appear here in the description box below with the information with the website. If you want to take a look at the paintings, if you want further clarity, it will be there. As far as astrological happenings, there's not that, like, there's a lot going on, but it's from like in the last few, from the last reading I did, the middle of the month and the beginning of the month was the most. There is a full moon coming up on July 29th, and that is going to be in the sign of Aquarius. And there's a Leo sun. So I am going to be doing a reading about that right after this one for everybody. So I'm not going to talk too much about that. If you're leaving the reading here, thank you so much for your time and energy. I really appreciate your likes, comments, shares, subscribes. And if you want more further information, let's do that now. So we have the karmic space of attachment. So this is talking about I do feel that you put burdens down that were from other people, because this is talking about attachment is the mother of all karmic spaces. It's, the card says what's yours is mine and what's mine is mine. So that doesn't sound very fair, but it's kind of like saying that other people want your destiny, or they want what you have, and they're willing to take it from you. And that's why you are in this energy. But what's meant for you, if you're on your destined path, is meant for you. And no one, they could slow you down for sure, but they can't take it from you. We have the Virgo energy here. This has been coming up in almost every reading, and a big part because it's ruled by Mercury, and it's talking about communication. Mercury went retrograde back in June 29th, and on July 23rd, it's going to go forward again. So you may have noticed that communication has been a little iffy. There could be a lot of computer glitches and just people misunderstanding what you say, or, it's really common to have problems with communication, technology-wise, and quite often people will come back into your life if you haven't had closure during retrograde seasons. So if people from the past are coming in, and they've had you in this energy, it's saying, are you going to be a people pleaser and take them back in, or are you going to keep moving forward on your path and go for the new love and the new energy that is coming towards you, which is pretty awesome. That would be totally up to you, but generally people do show us who they are the first time around. So it could be that there was circumstances though that, whatever is going on. So that's up to you, but it's just a warning saying, like, be careful about going back into the past if you've already done all this work to heal it, when all this beautiful new energy wants to come your way. The Wheel of Fortune is definitely turning in your favor. This is Sagittarius energy, and this is Sagittarius energy. So it's talking about world travel, new adventures, new partners, new. That's pretty much what it's talking about. And it's good fortune is coming upon you because you've done the work that you needed to be able to move forward and attract this beautiful new energy coming in. And we have some of this is talking about healing from that past energy. And that's why this is coming through. We have the transition is, it's right here. It's when you landed these 8 wands and you kept going and you didn't give up, and then you had the guts to take a look at yourself really, and really go inward. We have pride here as well. And what do they say? Pride before the fall. So quite often, if we're too proud to look at ourselves or admit that maybe we could have done things better, or, what could we do now to make, to be more successful in life, to not have this outcome, that type of energy, having the courage to do so. It's hard to look at your shadow side, and a lot of people don't do it because of that. But that's why you have this transition coming in of, rebirth, like being able to move forward in a different way. And then we have superstar energy. So in case you didn't know it, you are a superstar. And that's talking about being able to speak your truth and have harmony in your life, being able to forgive yourself, put down burdens from other people, and just be yourself, be your authentic self. This is talking about, it would be very foolish. And the fool goes on their journey at the 0 point. And this is having expectations that create limitations. So you can't be on your destined path if you're always expecting, okay, things have to go this way or else I'm not doing it. Like if someone comes into my life and they're not exactly who I think they, exactly the way I want them to be, then I'm not going to make any changes myself. You have to, expectations will always create limitations. So it's better to anticipate a strong future rather than expecting it to happen and having it happen in exactly this way. Very much closed energy here. And then there definitely was some sort of deception here. It's talking about this affected your ability to move forward in your own authentic energy. kiss me good. There was definitely some energy of stepping out here in this way, a loss of love here. And it can also be a lot of people think about that. Yeah, the heartbreak of having your partner lie to you and sneak around behind your back and all of that type of energy. But it's even worse than if you find out that friends and family knew about it and, didn't let you know, or worse yet, they were involved in it. And that could be deception in your love life, or it could be in your business, partnerships. It could be just in life in general. So, of course, that has a limiting effect on feeling like a star when you're being treated that way. And that's when you really need to take a look at yourself, because you're not going to be able to control them, but you can decide, okay, am I going to move forward out of this energy, or am I just going to stay here stuck, in this mental prison for the rest of my life? Before I cover all the cards here, I just want to point out too, if you are in legalities here, there's a few cards here talking about that. Not very much energy like that, but if there is something, sometimes this can talk about the police coming in and making arrests because there was some sort of deception, because we have this energy here. But this sometimes can represent physical prison, not just mental prison. So other than that, it looks like, this could be the battle between right or wrong, two extremes. This is Jesus, and this is, this pillar represents Jesus's energy, and this represents the devil's. So it's kind of talking about which way are you going to go here. And then let's check what's the underlying energy. Justice coming in. So there is some sort of energy here where there could be something around court or law or that type of energy. So this can sometimes talk about actions of people coming towards you, so just, you would know probably if you're in a situation, or you're going to find out if you don't know about it. But this is saying justice is coming in. And then we have the trauma queen. Yeah, maybe you've had your love relationships, your significant others in your inner circle have been about, a lot of drama. And quite often, if children are raised in that kind of environment where there's a lot of arguing and, that type of energy, they'll quite often, you get so used to the trauma that and drama in your life that when you have peace and quiet, it doesn't feel right. It feels like, well, is this boring? Like, is there something wrong? There's, nobody's yelling, nobody's excited. Does it mean there's no passion? And so a lot of times people will, that have had a lot of drama and trauma in their life, tend to find it very uncomfortable when there isn't any. It's almost like, well, there's something wrong, and it's actually there's something right. That type of energy. We have the shooting star. So this is on transition, and we have transition on this energy. So I do feel it's talking about you having a good attitude. If you wish upon a star, it means you don't have it yet. So you have to, if you just sit there and you don't do anything, and then 2 years later you're complaining, oh, my life's the same, nothing happened. Well, maybe you need to get up and do something. So this is about having an attitude. You could stand here for the rest of your life, and some people do. And so it's a choice that you have to make. Gemini energy coming in. This card is also coming in with a lot of the readings, almost every one. And this is again ruled by Mercury, so it's communication again, just like the Virgo energy. The thing is that Uranus, the planet Uranus, moved into the sign of Gemini a couple months ago, almost now. And that energy we haven't had that energy on the planet since 1941 to 1949, when World War II was, in full swing, and the after effects of that. And we're still dealing with the truths from that way back when. Now, Gemini, with Uranus and Gemini, bottom line is that it wants the truth to come out. And so we're seeing that in the news every day, new truths coming out, and you'll find like really weird ways, weird truths coming out in weird ways. The energy's kind of weird, and it can go way back in time as well. It could be leftover energy from your parents or that type of thing. So I feel that truth is coming out about a situation. If there's some sort of legalities, it's saying that the truth is going to come out about it. Now, I just want to point out, when the horoscope signs do come up in my readings, I'm not talking about individuals. I'm talking about the energy itself. And we all have a little bit of every sign in us. If we get our birth chart done, you'll see that. So I'm not pointing out specific individuals. I'm pointing out the energy. What can we learn from each sign? Each sign has its strengths and weaknesses and their specialty of how to handle it. And so that's, if in your own reading here, it may feel like, no, Colette, there is people, that there is a Gemini, there is a Virgo. You have to use your intuition for that. I just want you to be aware. I'm not saying that I'm not identifying anybody. We have the Scorpio energy. This is about whether are you going to elevate with your intelligence and everything you know, or are you going to conquer other people? It's a choice. We have the Hermit. This is about after the dark night of the soul, deciding, okay, the hermit climbs the mountain and he goes to the top of the mountain, and when his lantern is full of the North Star, he knows, okay, it's time to come down from the mountain. He's conferred with God, he's done his praying, he's meditating, and is ready to move forward and take action. And so that's using your intuition for sure. And then we have the Cancer energy, which is talking about, it's emotional energy, but I feel it's talking about maybe the upcoming moon energy coming up, which will be on July 29th. And as I said, I will be doing a reading right after that, dedicated to a bonus reading for the full moon. So yeah, I do feel that there's a lot of real powerful information in this for you, Capricorn. It's really good advice, I feel. And yeah, I enjoyed this reading. I hope you have as well. And thank you so much for your likes, comments, subscribes. I really appreciate them. It's helping me build my channel, and I will be back with that reading with the full moon for you soon. Bye for now.